Okay, so today we'll be looking at revising the present tenses. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one. So we've got an example here of the present simple, which says, I get up at 6 a.m. every morning. And the other example, the concert is in Paris. So the use that we give here, for example, in the first example, is that I get up at 6 a.m. every morning is a repeated event. We often use also adverbs of frequency, such as always, sometimes, never, often. Another form, a way of using the present simple, is to use it for general facts. For example, the concert is in Paris. So here we've got, so how do we form the present simple? Very simple. We have, in the affirmative sense, we have the subject and the verb in the present. Okay? Depending on the subject is how you're going to form the verb. So for example, if the subject is he, she, or it, you are going to have to include the third person s in the verbs. For example, in the case that we've got here, the race, it's an it, so starts, not start. Okay, for when it comes to negative sentences, we have the subject, does or do, depending on the subject. I, you, we, they, do, he, she, it, does, not, and then the verb in infinitive. Whereas with questions, we've got the question word, the auxiliary does or do, depending on the subject once again, and the verb in infinitive again. So that was present simple. Another way that we can speak about present tenses is using present continuous. So for example, here we've got, the students are working on their tests. And every day I eat cereal for breakfast, but today I'm eating toast. Okay, so for example, we've got students are working on their tests. As you can see, is something that is temporary, which has begun and has not finished, and something which is completable, so we know that eventually they're going to finish their test, and is in process of being completed. So what's happening at the moment. Whereas the second example we've got here, every day I eat cereal for breakfast, but today I'm eating toast, we use it for also when an activity that happens only for a limited period of time does not have to happen directly at the moment. So when we want to break the routine, we can use also the present continuous. How we form it is how we can see here. So we've got the subject, the verb to be, and the verb in ing. So for example, students are working on their tests. The verb to be depends on the subject. So if it's I, it's am, you, we, they are, he, she, it is, and the verb in ing. For negative sentences, we've got the subject, the verb to be, not, and the verb in ing. And with question words, we've got the question word, the auxiliary of verb to be, so it's am, are, or is, the subject, and the verb in ing. I hope that this was helpful for you and that you were able to get the most and enjoy doing the exercises.